3, you failed to remain in Jefferson County and that you were at Golden Nugget in Louisiana on or about March 21st, 2026 without permission of the probation officer. How do we know that?
Your Honor, I have here in my file a photograph from a social media post that the probation department, the probation officer here can testify that she's personally familiar with the individual, the defendant depicted in the photograph, and she's personally familiar with the background, the building that depicts the Golden Nugget.
Call cause number 23 CR 703.
Yes, ma'am.
You were Whitney Nicole Beck.
Who's asking if I was yes, now?
We're indicted in this case for, let's see, the state jail felony of abandoning or endangering a child by criminal negligence, a state jail felony, and you were placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation on August 6th, 2024. That was for a period of 2 years, which has passed, but a motion to revoke unadjudicated probation has been filed June 30th of this year, which tolls the ending of this. And in this motion to revoke probation, it alleges you failed to avoid injurious or vicious habits by committing assault, family violence on or about December 5th, 2025, in violation of condition 2 of your deferred or unadjudicated probation, which number 2 states avoid injurious or vicious habits. 2, you failed to avoid injurious or vicious habits as directed by the court on or about December 5th by committing interference with child custody in violation of condition 2 of your probation order. 3, you failed to remain in Jefferson County and that you were at Golden Nugget in Louisiana on or about March 21st, 2026 without permission of the probation officer. How do we know that?
Your Honor, I have here in my file a photograph from a social media post that the probation department, the probation officer here can testify that she's personally familiar with the individual, the defendant depicted in the photograph, and she's personally familiar with the background, the building that depicts the Golden Nugget. I did not know we were having a hearing today. I would have made a copy to offer into evidence. That's my only copy there.
Did you see it?
No, Doug, I don't. We're just
Okay.
request of a bond.
I didn't originally see it until I took a closer look. I would submit to the court that it appears she's also holding an alcoholic beverage in her hand as well.
What's the authenticity of that photograph? It has a month and a day, but no year.
Correct.
I mean,
What I can
she
tell
could have
you-
been there 2 years ago.
Judge, if I may.
I don't know, but just looking at that, so how do we know otherwise?
I'll let her, if I may, Judge, for purposes of this hearing, it's a lower burden, and you're well aware of that. And she can speak to when she witnessed or viewed it or it was downloaded.
So we received a tip on this, and because of ongoing things,
Sure.
we went ahead and pulled up the social media account, and this is what was viewed as in March 21st. There was
Of what year?
this year. It was.
How do we know that was?
And
that
I
was
agree.
a photo that was taken this year.
I mean, you're correct. All I can do is go by the testimony that what we viewed,
Okay.
and these were the pictures that were attached.
Let's see. Number 4 states you provided a urine sample on or about March 24th, 2026, which showed the presence of tetrahydrocannabinol and amphetamines. And then 5, failed to remain off the premises of any bar, tavern, or similar place by being at Avenue X on or about December 27th of 2025 in violation of your probation. Failing to provide verification of performing community service hours. How are we doing on that?
So since the motion has been filed, she has completed all the assigned community service and has paid her fees in full.
7, fails to abstain from the use of any all intoxicating substances. Yeah, this looks like
Judge, number 7, we need the state, I apologize. We need to abandon that one, Judge. There's some erroneous information admittedly in that one, in paragraph number 7.
A, failed to submit to alcohol and hard drugs screening on or about February 24th, 2026. February 24th, 2026. I guess that was at the direction of the probation office. Who was was that you directly involved in that?
Yes. So how this came about was that there was circumstances going on in her life, personal life, that were bleeding into probation on both parties. Because her ex-husband at the time was maybe 10 days shy of being off of probation. So all of that was transpiring. In order to prevent any further issue, both parties were called in. I spoke with the ex and then was going to speak with Ms. Beck. That became an argument and we weren't able to produce any resolution there, but she was advised she would have to submit to a UA on her way out of the building. When she did that, she presented a sample that was cold and the UA technician advised that she dipped it in the toilet to submit it for submission. So again, I went up there. It was an argument, it became an argument about can you resubmit? And her emotions got heavy and things were just out of hand. So I told her to leave the building.
Okay. No.
The
Okay,
second
so-
one, she submitted approximately a month later. She tested positive for THC and amphetamine.
When was that?
I'm sorry?
When was that?
That was, excuse me 1 second, 3/24 of 26.
3/24?
Yeah.
Okay, but that's not in.
Well, it's allegation 4, Judge.
That's
Paragraph 4.
Oh, okay.
For that particular test, she did test positive initially for THC and amphetamines. She presented a prescription for Adderall. Therefore, the amphetamine was, positive with prescription. She submitted, she wanted the urine to be sampled, to be retested at the lab. So she paid the fee and we submitted that to the lab. When on 3/31 of 26, the lab came back and confirms positive for THC.
What are you asking today?
Judge, she's on deferred adjudication.
Mhm.
She's entitled to have a bond set and she's requesting a bond be set.
Okay, what's that saying?
Yeah, we're asking that the court set a sufficiently high bond to guarantee her appearance at a future court settings, and also in light of it taking into consideration of these new alleged violations, Judge, consistent with and proportionate to these new violations.
All right, anything else?
No, Judge.
All right. Then your bond here is going to be $15,000. You must have a drug patch. I don't know if you have one now, but you're going to have one at all times. Plus,
Would the court give any consideration to perhaps a GPS monitor, given the allegation that she's left the state of Texas?
Judge, that was one that
say
was
that again.
abandoned.
I didn't hear
A
what.
drug patch, a GPS monitor, given the allegation that she's left the state of Texas, visiting that establishment, the Golden Nugget there in Louisiana.
And again, Judge, there was record made of how we cannot prove that those were from while she was on probation. There's no date associated with them.
All right. Then the court is going to order also a GPS device. You have to stay in home confinement except for the exceptions. You're about finished shaking your head in defiance.
I am. I don't feel well. You just.
I'm sorry you're not getting your way, but you're going to be ordered to have a GPS device and remain in Jefferson County unless otherwise allowed. Plus, you have to have a drug pass. And what else?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor, unless you,
I don't have anything further. Just remind her that on her release, she must report to the probation department.
All right, that's that. When are we gonna get this hearing done? As soon as possible.
3 weeks, Judge?
You got it.
thanks, Judge.
Is that it?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, that's all. I think that's it. Everybody, we're in this,